A giant sinkhole could swallow the White House. that that is what I've read today, that this sinkhole that appeared is so big it could swallow up the White House. That's how massive the sinkhole is that appeared. And this particular sinkhole right here, this sinkhole has doubled in size. We're going to look at a few sinkholes tonight. If you're just tuning in, hello and welcome. I wanted to do the sinkholes earlier today, but it didn't happen that way. So I thought when it comes time for me to do my last video, I already know what I'm going to do it on. I'm going to do it on the sinkhole that could swallow up the White House, you all. And really, theoretically speaking and hypothetically speaking, a sinkhole could form. A massive sinkhole could form directly under the White House, you know, depending on what caused that sinkhole. It really could, and it could swallow it up, because if they've already got one that's, say, big enough to swallow the White House in a different area, I'm sure there could be one that could appear right under the White House too, you all. It could swallow it could swallow up the White House too, you all. It wouldn't be very nice. It really wouldn't. But some of the things they use to describe how big something is, and something to compare the size to, that really throws me for a loop. Kind of makes me giggle, you all. But that's what I heard today. It could swallow the White House. The White House could fit inside of the giant sinkhole. And I don't know if you all have heard it this year yet. Hello. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. Hello, everyone. I see you all on here. Yes, I do. I want to put this to top chat, you all. I'm a little tired, so I'm going to be a tad bit giggly, because I get a little giggled when I get a little tired. You all, I am going to, did I push this right here, you all? I'm going to take you over here. I'm going to put this link in here, since this is the one that we are going to look at first, about these sinkholes, you all. You know that sometimes these sinkholes, they appear out of nowhere. They appear out of nowhere is what they do. Let me get over here to this live stream where I'm, oh, does this show me live, you all? Okay, I'm live on here. Yeah. I like looking at them. You might look at them too. So we've got this Reuters article updated 4 hours ago, if you did not hear about the sinkholes. Jim, honey. Yeah, that's your name. Hello there, F. Michelle. So, Chile sinkhole grows large enough to swallow. Now they say, you all, it grows large enough to swallow France's Arc de Triomphe. The one article I read, it was big enough to swallow the White House. Now they got this comparison to the France's Arc de Triomphe. I don't know what the France's Arc de Triomphe is, you all. I don't know who writes these articles. Let's see what that is. You can click into that and you can see it. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, okay. So it's big enough to swallow this. This one's big enough to swallow this. Let's put this in here, you all. I've never heard of that before. This France's one thing right there. That's interesting. Arc de Triomphe Monument in Paris. Sometimes I wonder, when they write these things, are there clues? Are there clues in these articles that they write? So a sinkhole that was exposed last week, it doubled in size. It's in the middle of the road, Zuvia. Wow. So a sinkhole that was exposed last week has doubled in size at a mining zone close to Tierra Amarilla town in Copiapo, Chile on August the 7th. This is I was going to say Reuters. Okay, we got this. Look at this. You all, now, I don't know about you, and all jokes aside, these sinkholes that are appearing like this, and when they're perfectly round, the part of me in the inside, and probably the part of you on the inside, is probably thinking, okay, that is not naturally occurring because it's too circular. It looks as if some massive boring machine bored its way up to the surface and swallowed whatever was in there. Who knows what was on that road at that time or in this field when that happened? And or what if you are, let's ask this. What if this gigantic sinkhole was made from something from up in the sky, and it took its lasers and it made a perfect circle and drilled itself down into the ground, but yet not too hot to melt the rocks. Part of me thinks sometimes that too, because look at it. Look how it's perfect. Y'all, let's look at this. It is perfectly in center with this line right there. How can that be? It looks like it's almost perfectly centered, going straight across the middle. Wouldn't that make a good point to where you could position your machine or your laser, and then boom, right there in the middle? And what if something comes flying up out of there? Like ships with some type of beings go down in the earth. Now that the sinkhole is made, do they have an invitation to some kind of, I don't know, something from not of this world to go straight down in there? And what if that leads to somewhere else? Now they say Gina, honey. Yes, you need to read the article. Okay, I'll read the article, you all. I will. I like to hypothesize. I like to get through the rest of this, you all. Oh, wow. Now, see, it doesn't look too level. Look at that. It's like a big, dark hole, and we can't see inside of it. What if we lightened that up, you all? What if we added light to that hole and see if we could see something inside that hole? I want to see if we can see inside that hole if we brighten that hole up. Let me get you big like this, you all. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if I do the... I can't really see anything in there. We can't really see much in there. Oh, it's all pixelated, but we can only... No, it's too dark. It's too dark to see all the way in there, you all. That's not nice of them. Well, it looked like that blue. But yeah, we can't see inside the sinkhole, so that didn't work. Let me put this back to me, you all. So where are we at? Let's get that out of there. We're supposed to be back over here looking at this. So a sinkhole that was exposed last week has doubled in size at a mining zone close to, okay, that's Rudders. Let's look at the rest of it, you all. We'll be back over here. This is in Chile. Copiapo, Chile is where it's at. Look at that. Look how like perfectly round it is. Isn't that mind-boggling, you all? If that's like near a mining zone, how can it make a perfect circle? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of some of the crop circles. Wow. What if, now this is hypothetical, what if some kind of flying saucer-like thing had great big massive like teeth on the side that was spinning around so fast, and it literally, you all get this, it literally burrowed its way into the earth. And then once it got down far enough, what if it made a slight turn and then burrowed that way, and then all you see is the dirt that was left behind, and you can't see where else it went. What if that, you all? Because you know that big boring machines, they have great big old metal teeth on it. And I think that they have the technologies, these extraterrestrial, these beings, these otherworldly beings, and maybe even our own, people of this world, I think they have the technology to have something like that, like a great big old spinning flying saucer-like object machine with teeth on it that spin around so fast that they literally and they could have done that too, you. I like it, a hypothetical. It doubled in its side. It emerged on July the 30th, and it now stretches 160 feet across and goes down 200 meters, which is 656 feet. Now look at no no, you are, now they're saying Seattle Space Needle would also comfortably fit in the black pit. Okay, so now they're talking about the Seattle Space Needle. Let's go see what the Seattle Space Needle looks like, you all. We're going to have to do this too. Why are they naming these things? It really makes me think, why are you all naming things like this? Throwing certain names into articles. So the Space Needle is an observation tower in Seattle, Washington. And it is considered to be an icon of the city. It is designated a Seattle landmark located in the Lower Queen Anne neighborhood, and it was built in the Seattle Center for the 1962 World's Fair. I heard that there were things in the World's Fair, some type of technologies that we never have seen before, and then it just like everything like disappeared or something like that. So now we got the Space Needle being compared to it in it. Okay, let's look at this. And then, as would six Christ the Redeemer statues. You all, come on now. What if this is like some kind of clues, like a riddle written in an article like this, and we got to try to figure it out. What if, and I don't like riddles, but this sounds really strange because they're taking iconic things and they're talking about it. So let's look at this, you all. 6 Christ the Redeemer statues. We've got to click into that because I don't know what that looks like. I really don't. Let's put it on here too. Christ the Redeemer statues. I don't know why. Kind of reminds me of, what was that, National Treasure? They had all these clues and stuff they had to go to. This is Christ the Redeemer statues, Art Deco statue of Jesus Christ in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Sculptor Paul Landowski, Brazilian engineer, French engineer, and Romanian sculpture, you all. The Black Pit. Well, did they talk about the Black Pit? Because I didn't see them mention that in that article, you all. So let's look at this. We're going to look at the rest, you all, because this is strange. The National Service of Geology and Mining said late Saturday it is still investigating the gaping hole near the Alcaparrosa mine operated by Canadian company London Mining, Lund 2, 413 miles north of Santiago. In addition to ordering all work to stop, the Geology and Mining Service said it was starting a sanctioning process, and the agency did not provide the details on what that action would involve. So I don't know about a sanctioning process. Perhaps you all know what that means. London did not immediately reply to requests for the comment. The company said last week the hole did not affect the workers or the community members, and that it was working to determine the cause. They don't know what caused it. Ludwin owns 80% of the property, and rest is held by Japan's Sumitomo Corporation. Initially, the hole near the town of Tierra Amarilla measured about 25 meters, 82 feet across, with water visible at the bottom. Okay, you all, is there more than one hole that has opened up? Surely there's not more than one hole that opened up. Let's see. Is this where we're at? Oh, this is parts of the article. Okay, this is the same sinkhole right here. So, okay, it's the same article. Okay, so we're not going to look at that because it's the same article. The geology said it has installed water extraction pumps, and in the next few days, they're going to investigate the mine's underground chambers. Oh, wow. So if they got chambers, you know if that mine has chambers, there's tunnels in it. I bet somebody knows what happened. I bet something came down from the sky and went inside that hole, and it went through the chambers. I don't think there's any reason why it couldn't have. If you watch the movies nowadays, they can do that. They have machines, they have craft that can literally go down to a shaft in the ground. See, that's what they do at Table Mountain. I don't know how big these shafts are that they go down, but they go down. The UFOs come up in the sky. They go straight down into shafts. And you know those shafts have tunnels to some other place. They don't just like end right there. They're bound to have an opening, an exit somewhere else, you all. That's what I'm thinking. So let's look at this hole. It is massive right here. Massive, totally massive. Look at that. It's like almost perfect. It's almost perfect. You almost fell in a tunnel. And have you ever been in the water? Have you ever been in the water and there's a sinkhole in the water where you're swimming at in the ground, and it will suck you in. My brother, when we lived in Utica, Indiana, the Ohio River, we went out swimming because we lived right close to it when we were really little, and my brother got out a little bit too far. And he started sinking in a sinkhole in the water, and I remember my dad having to swim out and pull him back in, try to pull him back in as hard as he could to get the sinkhole and him separated. This is real, this stuff like this, and I wonder really what is going on. I really do think that there are other explanations that they don't care to mention. And you have to ask yourself, why don't you want to say that maybe some other worldly beings probably made that tunnel? That's a possibility in the UFO world. It really is. An elevator, and then if you think about Tremors, remember that movie Tremors? It was a scary movie. These great big creatures come out of the holes in the ground. And you have these people out in the desert with all their things. They're trying to get it because those big old, look like gigantic centipede-like things, but they weren't. They move fast underground. The ground would literally tremble at it. Somebody pulled the plug for the water. I don't think there'd be water right there in that spot right there. But that's a probability, too. There really is. Everything is classified. That's okay. We can unclassify everything, you all. This is the main search that I went to. Let me just put this in here. I'll put this at the tippy top because that's really what led me to this right here about that. Let's move this down right here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Gigantic sinkholes that are opening up, and I don't think that they are all easily explained away. I really do not. Look at this. It swallows the land, the Chilean land owned by the Canadian mining company. Alcaparrosa's operations have been suspended. Look how perfect you are. Now, could you imagine an aircraft that would be that big, or even, well, it wasn't that big since it's doubled in size right there. It doubled in size. Okay, let's ask ourselves this, you all. This does not make sense to me. If you've got a gigantic sinkhole like this, and it was one perfect circle, and then all of a sudden it's doubled in size, and then they just so happen to make another perfect round circle. How is that possible? How is that possible? Do you think an initial opening was drilled into the earth for these sinkholes that double in size, and then once that initial opening is made, see, look at these, then another thing comes through and it's even bigger. How can they evenly come down and form a perfect circle? That's what I wonder. Geometry. Yeah. See, look at this. This don't look right, you all. It really doesn't. Look at that, full of water. Why couldn't it be a square? Why couldn't it be something oblong or something like that too? I know holes are certain sizes, but you all, come on now. This looks really, really weird to think about it, because some of these, don't that look strange, you all? It made all of the news. Why would this one sinkhole make the news around the world? Just one. Around the whole entire world. It's just a sinkhole. Or is it much more than a sinkhole? That's right. Lynn, honey. Well, if there was one that opened up, it probably would. Look, here's another size. Yeah. Well, I've got UFOs on my mind. I really do. Extraterrestrial beings and otherworldly beings, and a something that made that hole. You know that Mr. Musk has his boring company also, and look at these. Well, that's kind of not so nice looking, but you all, what if all these holes that have formed in the earth, what if something comes out? What if something, now why did they want to do this? What if something comes out of these holes that they make? Look at this. A giant sinkhole pierces Guatemala. Pierces Guatemala. Oh, see, that's right in the city, y'all. Let me do this right here. They got it under a hoax or a fact. A hoax or a fact. What do you all think? Do you all think that these sinkholes are... Let's get back over here. Where are we at? Space Needle. Do you think these sinkholes that appear like this, now look at that, do you think that they are naturally occurring, that it's just as they said, something happened and they just appeared? Do you think that's really the case? It's just something that happens because the water is gone and stuff like that. Christine Mott Honey, if you say no, Christine Mott Honey, then no is the answer. Absolutely, Christine. Yes, it's that's right. It's no, it's not naturally occurring. That's right. CERN got turned off yesterday. Well, they probably created a black hole. Yeah, so do you all think that they do look perfectly drilled, Sandy? Perfectly drilled in here. You know they got technology to do that. And if back in ancient times, so it's said, the beings from space or whatever, they had that type of technology to literally melt stuff. Pits of hail. Looks like it's man-made. Yeah, it does, because it's like perfect. Look at that. A giant sinkhole. It shows the appearance of a massive sinkhole in the city of Guatemala that is thought to have been triggered by a tropical storm Agatha. Vent holes. Oh, Victor, that's, oh my gosh. That I've never thought of that before. A violent tempest struck Central America. The sinkhole measured 18 meters, 100 meters deep. The other thing was like 100 meters and completely swallowed an entire 3-story building. Your instincts say the bottomless pits of hell. Yes, the pits of hell, you all. When I used to be in church, I would hear that term sometimes when some preachers would get really excited. The pits of hell. But, you know, that's not a joke, really. Could you imagine that? Because if you think about that, something terrible could come out if you were to think of that in that type of a way. That's right, Jim. All the same size. A lot of them are in Alaska also. Apollon, who is the destroyer. Yes, you are. That's right. You're thinking that the bottomless pits of hell, what if it's in the center of this earth? You know how they say molten lava? Something like that. It's perfect. It's a ranch land, a sinkhole on ranch land in Prime Video series. Oh, wow. Abaddon. I've heard of that. Look at that. Pierces it. Are they going to say it's make it believe? They're genuine. They say they are genuine pictures. Let me get this here. Genuine pictures. It's all tunnels down there mostly, and it's okay. Well, we don't want to get too into it, you all. Genuine, an incident mentioned in the story is a fact. Sinkholes, look, they're natural depressions of Earth's surface caused by the crust processes, the chemical dissolution of carbonate rocks of whatever you are. The giant sinkhole in Guatemala did not form because of any dissolution of carbonate rock. Guatemala City is not underlain by any kind of carbonate rock. Instead, it has the thickest deposit of volcanic ash, unwelded ash flow tufts, and other volcanic debris. This giant sinkhole in Guatemala actually occurred in May of 2010, measuring about 20 meters wide, 30 meters deep, and is called as a result of piping pseudodustkarst created by the collapse of large cavities that had developed in the weak, crumbly, quaternary volcanic deposits underlying the Guatemala City. Okay, that you know the UFOs go in the volcanoes, and we know it. That's right. You hear the conquistador. That's right. So, volcanic tunnels. Ooh. Wow. Look at that. Kind of reminds me of a water well. You drill deep in the earth, you get water. No, it's real. It is real, you all. That in the middle of the city, that is so strange. And we put the one thing here. Look at that. Look how that looks. It does. It looks so perfect. Even the boring thing. Let's look at that boring tunnel. The thing that bores tunnels. I can't spell it right, but it'd be good enough because CERN is CERN. Boring machine. Okay, let's see. Boring machine. Boring machine. Let's look that up. Boring machine tunnels. I'm going to put this in here because you can compare those tunnels to the tunnels of the boring machines. Save it. Let's look at that result. No, it wasn't this one. It was... let's see these images. Look how massive these are. Look what they do, you all. Isn't that interesting? Elon Musk is apparently serious about launching a tunnel digging thing. Look how massive this machine is. I want to see some real and I thought, did you ever see the documentaries where they bored underneath the ocean floor to the other countries? So they said. Yeah. Oh wow, look, it looked like it poked right through, you all. It poked right through here, or it's getting ready to go through. I think these are the teeth. How big is the boring machine? How wide is the boring machine? Okay, how wide? How wide is the boring tunnel borer machine? Tunnel boring machine. No, I want to know the width. It's not, okay. They're not really saying the width of it. Do you all know how wide it is? Metro, the longest TBMs is 120 meters long. That's the same as 3 E-class trams into. I don't want to talk about how long they are. I want to know how big of a tunnel, how wide the tunnel is that they can drill. And maybe I don't have a good. Well, I know that they can go. How wide is the tunnel boring head? I don't know how to find it. Okay, diameters can range from 3 feet to 58 feet. They can bore through anything from hard rock to sand. 58 feet. I'm sure they can drill bigger holes. Okay, 12-foot diameter inside of this one. So if they can do it, why can't they have something coming from outer space doing it also? Change long for wide. Change long for wide. How wide is a tunnel boring head? Drilling head. Drilling head. Drilling head. It's like a mole. They've been doing them for, look, 70 plus years of business. You all, I'm not even on that page. I am so sorry. 70 plus years of business. The tunnel boring has a diameter of up to 20 meters. Okay. That's making me tired, you all, reading this, you all. It really is. This reading's making me think, okay, we know that can do a 57-foot wide boring machine arrived in Seattle, Washington after leaving Japan. So 57 feet wide. So I wonder how wide some of these sinkholes were that formed. Were there any that were around that size? Look at this one. 50-meter deep. Are they going to say how wide it is? Oopsie, don't touch it, Gina. 50-meter deep. 50-meter deep. In the Arctic. They just opened up in the Arctic. This one right here, in the Arctic. Let's come over here and do this, you all. This sinkhole opened up in the Arctic. It's really interesting if you think, because maybe they'll tell how wide it is. It's Mother Nature. The forces of Mother Nature, with help of technology and machine, they are responsible for the creation of incredible, scary objects. A new giant sinkhole opened up in the Arctic. But this one is unique. It's always concerning when giant sinkholes are suddenly appearing out of nowhere, but this is not a new phenomenon in Siberia. Such enormous holes have appeared in the region since 2014. 2014, you all. At least 17 huge holes have been spotted in the area of recent years. A new tunnel. Why aren't they saying the width of the hole? They only talk about the depth of the hole. Does that make sense to you? I think the width of it is very important, more so than the depth. They said it was caused by methane gas and thawing permafrost. And they're naturally troubled. The scientists are troubled by these huge holes. But investigations have provided researchers with valuable information. How could it do that? It is science. No, I want to know. Let's see. A literal void space. A void. Look at that. Wow. You all look at the inside of that. They previously claimed that human activities like drilling for gas from the reserves could be a factor. Look at this. Look at that. That is wild. It really is. It's got some type of indentions in it. It really does. In literal sense, a void space filled with gas and high pressure covering layers descends, thickness of which 5 to 10 meters. No, they still haven't said it. I'm not. Let's see. They're talking about pingos. Pingos are Okay, somebody's talking about the permafrost. Who just said something about the permafrost? Because I saw this in here. Antarctica was a forest 26,000 years ago. Who said the permafrost? I thought I saw it on here. Let me look at this. Okay, well, you said something about it, goblin life. The other continents are past the ice wall. Okay, so this one right here, pingos are intra, intrapper, oh, intrapermafrost ice-colored hills ranging in a height from 3 to 70 meters, 10 to 20 feet, and to, okay, now we got a thing, 30 to 1,000 meters in diameter. They are typically conical in shape and grow and persist only in permafrost environments such as the Arctic or the subarctics. Pingos, as we see both from satellite data and with our own eyes, helicopter inspections pop up at gas pipes. Pingos. Never heard of pingos before. Looks like something you all. Yes, they got the pingos. Sounds like penguins is what it sounds like. Now see that right there looks like a normal sinkhole, because look what happened. It looks like it's like this underneath there. It just got skinnier and skinnier at the bottom. But the other ones, and see this one right here, this is in the, oh my gosh, it dumped fertilizer plants water into the Florida aquifer. There goes the water table in the aquifer. Why did they drop fertilizer in the aquifer in Florida? Maybe they made that sinkhole open up to put the fertilizer there and the water is no good. Is that old? Let's see if that's owed you. I'm making myself tired. 255 million gallon storage pond set on top a waste mineral pile. The sinkhole was about 45 deep in diameter. 200 million gallons of contaminated wastewater from a fertilizer plant in Florida leaked into one of the state's main underground sources of drinking water after a massive sinkhole opened up beneath a storage pond. How coincidental is that? A phosphate company said Friday. Mosaic, the world's largest supplier of phosphate, said the hole opened up beneath the pile of waste material called gypsum stack, and the 250 million gallon storage pond set on top the waste mineral pile. The sinkhole was about 45 feet in diameter. Groundwater moves slowly. The water had been used to transport the gypsum, which is a byproduct of fertilizer production, and the sinkhole was discovered. Okay, we're in 2016. In 2016, it's believed to reach down to the Florida aquifer, and the aquifers are vast underground systems of porous rock that hold water and allow water to move through the holes within the rocks. Wow, to filter it. Oh, wow. There goes your drinking water back in 2016 in Tallahassee, Florida. Sometimes it just makes a person wonder why. Hurricane Francis, 65 million gallons of polluted waste from a fertilizer plant was sent into the waters near Tampa Bay, resulting in thousands of dead fish and other marine life. 1994, another sinkhole in Polk County opened, sending tons of waste from one of the company's wastewater piles into the earth. Wow. It poses a threat to human health. You all, this stuff right here, all of this is like, it is so wild. But really, with all these sinkholes, I like to see some more. See, this is a 16-foot wide sinkhole, but that seems like it's just right there at the beach. That's wild. It swallowed an entire house in the Russian Paros. Okay, you all. So see, okay, that has a sinkhole too. That is a sinkhole. What scientists found in this giant sinkhole made the record books. It was another world under there, you all. Another world with this giant sinkhole. So how come these sinkholes, oh, you all, we got a recent article. This is going to be a very recent article that just popped up on August the 8th of 2022, and it's August the 8th somewhere on this earth. So we get to look at it. This is cool. They just now put it in for us to look at, August the 8th. I'm going to be getting off here soon, I just want to put that there. I like to have a current up-to-date article. That's right, August the 8th. So researchers uncover secrets in hidden sinkhole, and they think they make the record books. Let's look at all this. I just put this in here. Look, sinkhole. You can have a sinkhole everywhere. So the karst environment is formed when certain types of rock are water soluble, erode over millions of years, and the conditions will occur particularly heightened in situations where there is a lack of drainage that would otherwise allow for the groundwater to seep out of the bedrock. Look at that. It's like a perfect hole. I bet that this is, what if you are, let's think about this. What if that picture right there of that sinkhole where the light's coming through, what if it's the same diameter of the sinkholes that are showing up around the world? What if it is? Because if it is, then something made that sinkhole that it was not naturally occurring. Something else made that sinkhole an entrance. And then, they can just fly right out of the earth just like that. In some instances, underwater, forging the path. China, Guangxi, Zhuang Autonomous Region, borders of Vietnam, place unbelievably stunning, surprising natural beauty. That looks like a big sinkhole down there too. They just jut out. The fellowships set out. Where's this at, you all? October. These got these. I don't want to read it all because it's making me tired. It's a geologist string in Fengshan County, part of Guangxi region, a tourist attraction with their caves. The edge of glory and the remote mountainside of China, rural China. Oh, wow. Revelations of danger. One by one, they went down into the lips of the sinkhole, into thin air, you all. It looks like they were... You all, am I doing this thing again? I keep thinking that I am pushing the button. Tell me how long I have been on here doing this, because I just feel so embarrassed by that. I really do. Yes, let me do this, you all. I was so excited. We had a thing. I pushed that button. At least I think I do. So I'm talking about this sinkhole here. And they got these, talking about these ones in China. That's right, in China. They go and explore this sinkhole, and I'm wondering if these sinkholes, the diameter is the same as the ones that have showed up around the world into thin air, you all. So now we're on it. A hole in the sky. It's an underground world stretching out before the scientists' eyes inside the sinkhole that would beautiful. It was beautiful beyond description. Everything they would document would be a new revelation to the world of geological science. In Chinese, a specific sort of a sinkhole would be classified as a tianqing, literally meaning sky hole. Ah, thank you, Gabby Gabs. A rare geological find. Slippery environs of the sinkhole. Expanse of unknown size. Secret chambers and hollows of the vicinity. Oh no, they could do 3D scanning technology to document the full scale of this underground cavern of the sinkhole. Wow, water trickling, underground network. Of course, there's an underground network. Okay, network. They would not only map out the obvious areas that were immediately apparent, such as the entrance in the main hall. The scanners would be able to uncover layers of the hidden system deep beneath the eons of rubble, not rubber, rock cover and debris that would reveal an incredible discovery. Hidden passageways made up entirely of vast subterranean network, tunnel systems of the sinkhole which was concealed deep below the rock floor. 3D scanning would put the sinkhole in the record books, you all. That's all right. I'm traveling till it's a half. That's all right. Immense proportions, you all. Was nothing short of monumental. The basement of the main hall, the initial room that rappelled down into, plunged down 400 feet below the entrance. It turned out the sinkhole measured 650 feet in length with a mouth of approximately 330 feet wide. Tectonic history, you all. The entire region of China had once been under a primordial ocean between 400 and 250 million years ago. Due to the shifting of the tectonic plates at Fengshan Mountains in Guangxi, has been pushed up above the sea level and deposited. Look at that. Water defeats rock. 3D scanning, bodies of water conquered the area. A gargantuan sinkhole, you all. Oh, wow. The cave's arteries, a collapsing cavern, finders, keepers. Oh, well, at least they got to go out. Oh, that's so precious. Look at that. It's a little heart. A superlative find. Wow, you all, look at that. That is wild. It nearly swallowed the prior year in a separate area. In the city of Nanning, a sinkhole opened up from a man-made circumstance and very nearly could have cost dozens of life. A passenger bus, a real threat. China formed over car sinkholes in China formed millions of years ago. The Dead Sea, Israel and Palestine territories, is a world-renowned place of extremes, 1,412 feet below sea level and the lowest points of the Earth's surface that is not submerged beneath the ocean. It's 10 times saltier than the ocean, causing anyone swimming in it to float without even trying. That is interesting. Desert sinkholes. Well, we've seen that. Perilous shores. Saved by the river. You all, they got all this stuff. Drilling accidents. Sinkhole leaks. Oh, that looks like fire. There's a pits of hail in Russia. I think I did hold the gateway of hell right here. The Soviet engineers decided the best way to save both local fauna as well as the human population nearby was to light the methane gas on fire. This was a standard practice in mining and drilling, known as a controlled burn. It was the quickest solution to the problem the sinkhole was emitting. So the engineers set the sinkhole ablaze, figuring it would burn out relatively quick. There was just one problem. That's exactly the opposite of what happened. While the immediate threat to the surrounding area was averted, the fire didn't stop. It kept burning. The methane deposits barely suspended. Something had to be done. This is in Russia, the gateway to hell. It just does not stop burning, you all. So it's like somebody said, the pits of hell. That would be like that. Oh my gosh, look at this sinkhole, 47 years, and the sinkhole in Turkmen desert has not stopped burning. Did you all hear about that? The sinkhole in the Turkmen desert. They realized there was nothing they could do. The methane gas in the sinkhole continues to add an eerie glow to the desert night and has been nicknamed the gateway to hell. What if it is the gateway to hell? These places like this. What if there's some truth to it? That's kind of scary if you had that. What's that creature again on the Lord of the Ring? Belnok. Is that his name? Belnark. Not Nark. Belrock. Let's see him. Okay, this is that creature right here. He is the Balrog, the Lord of the Rings wallpaper. He's a demon. They called him the demon in the Lord of the Rings, and he literally was. He's like a fire-breathing demon. Because he said in the Lord of the Rings, the dwarfs, they were too greedy And they dug into the earth too deep. And then boom, he got released. Is what happened. Bell Rock. And it really is. Let me put this in here. Called him a demon. And he battled him on the highest mountain. He fought and fought. And he defeated him. And then he came Gandalf the White. Gandalf the White, you all. But yeah, that's right. Balrog. That's how massive it was. Can you imagine? He'd probably be burnt to a crisp in front of that demon right there. Balrog. That's right. It would. So this is Turkmen Desert, the gateway to hell with the methane gas, you all. So we've got that one. And you got also this one in Russia. Soviet engineers, the gateway to hell. Okay, are they talking about the hole there in that area also? You know, there's something with these sinkholes. There really is. These sinkholes all over the world. But this sinkhole, I read an article today. They said it could swallow the White House up in it. They said a lot of things about some of the sinkholes that developed. But they don't look naturally occurring. A lot of them look like they're man-made or otherworldly means made. They don't look like they occurred naturally. It looked like something made them. And if something made them, what is the purpose of that something for making them? Someone said, is it like vents? What if it's like entrances for something from outer space to come straight down into it? Or what if it was exits for things to come out of the earth? That's the strange thing. It really is. So I am going to go, you all, but it's really interesting if you look at them. Just the pictures alone, the different sizes and how perfectly round some of them look. It just really makes an individual think, if you like those types of things. So I think there's something to it. I think there's something they're not telling us. Something's happening underground. And guess we're going to see. One day we'll find out. And so I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours. Love you. And it might have been too long of a video. If it is, I'm sorry. It's what, Sunday night? Yeah. But thank you all so much. And thank you, moderators. And have a wonderful evening, you all. Thank you for coming to this YouTube channel. And I look forward to sharing more with you. Whatever that more might be. Have a wonderful evening. Love you.